It's Wednesday, June the 29th, 2022. I want to welcome you to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium and channel and an intuitive life coach. And today we are fortunate enough to have the energy of a being by the name of Aphrodite, who wants to discuss what love is really, not what we have in our modern conception about what love is, but what is love really? Good morning. Just gonna get a few other things set up here. Yeah, it's been a very interesting time on this planet for us little humans. She says we are so far away from really understanding what love is because we are so caught up in the realm of the matter of the body being the source of the sole source of pleasure and joy and happiness and fulfillment. We've gotten lost in the flesh, is what she says. Good morning. Let's see what we've got coming in here. Yeah, there's going to be some really huge changes coming in the next 365 days on this beautiful blue marble in space. They keep telling me to just be patient, be calm, stay healthy, eat properly, keep your vibration high. Really important. You know, what do we mean when we say keep your vibration high? We mean keep your body, keep your mind sharp, keep your body healthy, keep your thoughts clear, learn to manage your emotions, like keep your vibrational energy high, especially with the energetic transformations that are happening between the earth and the sun and the galactic center. There's lots of stuff going on, very interesting times. When Aphrodite came in and said, it's really important people understand what love really is. And the thing that she stated first is, love is a vibrational feeling that you align yourself to. It's established that that is a vibration that comes from the source that you know of as the source of yourself. But it's important to realize that that source of yourself is something you become disconnected from by way of the body. In terms of the function of your body as an expression of love, you could say if you were just a body, that expressions of love are often articulated through reproduction. But that is only exclusive to the function of the body, the propagation of life, which is not love, but a function of love on that level. Many of you are transitioning from that level of subjectivity to a level of expression that will enable you to experience vibration, what I speak of. What is this vibration of love that is not bound by flesh, but can alter and change it? This vibration of love is not bound by flesh, but can alter and change it. Much the same way as you can see a vibration that you would call fear can also alter and change the flesh. The regulating principle behind the vibrations of love and fear are your consciousness, your awareness, what you're able to give attention to, what you place your focus upon that energetically interacts with matter, time, and space. You are not bound by flesh, but can operate through it. So the vibration of love must be experienced to be known. Many of you try to approximate your understanding of love strictly through the experience of the body. Yet the expressions of love are very different than the sensations you acquire through the body, which are dependent upon the environment. They're dependent upon the environment. Hi, Elena. Thank you for that super chat. We'll get to your question in just a couple of minutes. But the answer is always going to be the right one. The vibrational state of love requires you connect to the nature and essential state of being what you are. Being what you are. Many of you identify yourselves through the form exclusively. That is, you think that the information in your mind and the sensations of your body are you. They are not. They are things that you are aware of. The nature of your awareness, if you can give yourself enough permission to step away from sensation, to step away from thought, you'll move into an awareness, a feeling state of being that is closer to love than the body or the information in your mind can accurately portray or give you an experience of. Being able to do this, being able to differentiate yourself from the sensations of the body and the thoughts of the mind will bring you closer to understanding what love is really. The actions of love are very different than the actions that spring forth from the sensations of the body. The sensations of the body give rise to actions that are based in the function of the body exclusively. But the sensations of the body are not the source of love. They are the source of the body. If you can move your perception to that place in awareness where you are independent of the distraction of the senses, you will come closer to experiencing your essential nature, which is love, the expression of your consciousness as it truly is when differentiated from the body and the mind allows you a greater understanding of what love really is. How you express as consciousness independent of matter and thought, but not separate from it, independent of it, is significantly different than the sensations of the body governing your expression. Excuse me. Can we get something a little clearer on this? Okay, so there's sensation that we get with our body when we touch things or taste things or smell things. Those are the sensations of what we pick up from the body as it interacts with vibration and frequency in the physical dimension. Whether the vibrations and frequencies are of sight, of sound, of touch, of taste, they are vibrations of the body interacting with this physical dimension. There is a place that she's calling unity being, where your sense of non-separation from these things is quite pronounced. But she's saying that there's something, it must be very, very cautionary about how you will choose to use the sensation of the body as a definition of love has led to the failure of many civilizations, including the ancient Roman civilization, which fell also to the diminishment of the soul, to the seductions of the body. That was not to say that there is not a great appreciation and relevance and need for flesh to be utilized to perpetuate the evolution of consciousness, but is not meant to be the exclusive point of acquiring the truth of what you are from. You cannot acquire the truth of who you are from the body, nor from thoughts, but you can use them to reflect upon what is true or what is false. You have heard that you can sit in a state called meditation. A state called meditation, where you place your body and you place your mind into a state where you function independent of them. This happens to you spontaneously, but many of you don't understand this, when you place your body to a state of what you call sleep, where you literally are no longer entrenched in the body, or in the thoughts of the mind, you find a place of being that many of you cannot remember when you return. This place of being allows you the absolute freedom to be and do and experience any condition of life from all timelines and in all dimensions. In all timelines and in all dimensions. Love is the freedom to move freely throughout the spectrum of experiential consciousness, whether that is the consciousness of flesh, the consciousness of energy, the consciousness of dimensional travel, the consciousness of light, the consciousness of being. That on any of these planes you can feel free to move, even through the planes of time, past, present, and future. Love is absolute freedom to be and do as you will in any of these. And for some of you, this may be very difficult to comprehend, that you could have the absolute freedom to be and do as you will throughout the entire spectrum of consciousness, throughout the entire spectrum of consciousness. The best way to find this state of love is to place aside your mind, to place aside your body, to stay present and aware, to stay present and aware. But the great emphasis has been placed upon the body as a source of pleasure, and which it is a source of pleasure, but it is not the source of love. It is a source of pleasure, but not a source of love. But it can also be a source of fear and pain. This is the nature of the polarity of the body, but it is not the nature of love. Yeah. Cool. Wow. Yes. Question from Olena. We're going to get a Q&A. This understanding of what love is so important that we get so caught up in biology as being the source of love that we have literally lost our connection to it. But she says, don't make any mistake that in the true nature of love, all expressions are possible. In love's true nature, there are no expressions that are not allowed. Love is not bounded by restriction. It is limitless in its capacity, even to the point where you may suffer greatly is an expression of love. Even suffering is an expression of love. Love is experience. Love is experience of being. Whether you like that experience or not is not the concern, but that you can be aware that the body suffers or it does not suffer. Love is the ungoverned ability to experience the fullness of your consciousness through all planes and dimensions of existence. And this may be difficult for some of you to hear, that even suffering is an extension of love. Love is not defined in terms of the experience of a thing, but the fact that you can experience a thing or not, and without limit. You see a very small spectrum of it here in this physical dimension, where you look at the simple polarities of the wealthy and the poor in terms of material or monetary gain. These spectrums are very small. They're not limitless, very small spectrums. But to give you an example, it is that polarity from one state to another. They are still expressions and extensions of love from a lower vibrational plane to a higher. Love is the ability to experience without governance, without restriction. This is very difficult for those of you that would choose to experience only one polarity of it or the other. Then you will find there's conflict between what you call pleasure and pain. then there is little understanding or comprehension of what it really is. But please understand that love is the ungoverned ability you have to experience all forms of existence, of which this earthly realm is a small spectrum of that. Know this, that your science has revealed that there are entire solar systems and star systems that literally explode, experientially explode. Something that you have seen in very small measure here when you see the interactions of the consciousness of this earth when it belches forth or it shakes and rattles. You see a very small spectrum of experiential consciousness. But there is no restriction or limit in how great the expressions of love can be. But many of you get caught up in the belief that love is only a good feeling, but love is the experience of being. It is the ungoverned experience of being through all levels of consciousness. You are not bound by any one experience. Many of you understand the concept of multiple lifetimes. Many of you understand concepts of reincarnation. You have at least the intellectual understanding of these things. So you do not die in the sense that you cease to exist, but your experience shifts and changes. And while it may be very uncomfortable in one place, it will be very exquisite in another. But that is the best definition of love that can be offered here, is that love is the ungoverned ability to experience all the possibilities of your existence. Whatever experience you can manifest and experience, love allows you to have. Whether you call it good or bad, right or wrong, it does not matter. You are permitted by nature of love to experience all possibilities of existence, but to have also the free will to choose what you will experience. To become conscious that you have the ability to choose what experience you will have. The ability to experience what you will have. That is the ultimate understanding of love, is that it allows you to experience all the possibilities that you may manifest, all the lifetimes, all conditions, all states of existence. Love allows that. It offers you a heartbeat in the simplest form. Your heart beats, and it is beat by a consciousness that does that. But quite simply, love allows all possibilities to exist and excludes none. And that can be very difficult for some of you who choose to not want to suffer. But if you understand that the nature of time, space, and matter is very temporary, then you would need not concern yourself with whether or not this is going to be the rest of your life, that you will suffer this way, or that you will delight in this way. It is all ever changing. Otherwise, you would not have any need to be here if it just remained the same all the time on all planes. You are free. You are free. Thank you for that super chat, Sophia. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I want to say thank you to her, because this definition of love is the consciousness that allows us to experience all the possibilities of existence, good or bad. Yes, thank you. Love is that consciousness that allows us to experience all possibilities of existence, whether they are good or bad. Question from Elena. Will quitting my job today and doing hypnosis sessions for people be of benefit to me? It's funny, she wants to respond to this. She's saying, it is important you understand that your choosing to do this is to benefit others equally, If you understand both sides of that, then the circle will be complete and your outcome will be very desirable. But it's important you understand the law of exchange. It is not simply to receive, but also to give. And that is the way polarity works. You have positive and negative, up and down. One cannot exist without the other. So understand, please, that if you choose to do this also because it shall not only please you, but it will be of good service to others. Both sides must be understood when you make this decision, that you're not doing it simply for what is best for you, but what is best for those that you are going to serve. It must be both sides to make it complete. Wow. Thank you, Elena. Great question. Hi, Christopher. Hi, Sunny. Question from Carolyn. Should I develop as a quantum healer? It's funny. I don't know who this is, but they're saying, stop shooting on yourself. Stop shooting on yourself. Understand, if you are trying to force yourself to do something, it will be very hard for you to do. Rather, it's better to tell her that she must do this from the perspective of the joy that she will experience. Please tell her this. To do this from the joy that will be experienced. The joy for everyone. But it's going to be more than quantum healing. They're saying it will evolve into something more than quantum healing. Yes. But remember the joy. Remember the joy in this. Yeah, don't do it if you're not going to experience joy, unless you want to experience the opposite polarity. Question from Tanya. Was Tony with me? Yes, the answer is yes to that. Yeah. Yeah. You knew that. Why are you asking, Tanya? She says you knew that already. Why do you need to ask? She says, stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting yourself. It's going to save you a lot of time. She loves working with you, by the way. Hello, Melody. Hi, Sunny. Question from Sunny. Why are we also meant to be triggered out of love? She's saying none of you can escape love's grasp. None of you are outside of love's hand. This is the vibration of love is different than your finite definitions of it. Please understand. Your love is all encompassing, all embracing. It excludes nothing and includes all things. Do not get caught up in your limited perceptions of love. You will find yourself experiencing less than what you're capable of, but never will you ever be devoid of the possibility of experiencing all of it either. It is inevitable that you will experience all of it. Question from Sophia. How is the overturn of Roe versus Wade seen from the perspective of love? Is only seen in one way, that it is okay. It is all good. It is all good. Again, you find yourself in an experiential reality that restricts you to a very small spectrum of what is fully available to your consciousness. There are stars that explode in the skies. Entire stars explode in the skies, and your mind cannot conceive of that. You see an earthquake or a volcano erupt here, as had been seen in my biological days on this dimension. And from this perspective, they seem quite catastrophic, but it is very small. But all of it is upon the hand of love. All of it offered to you to experience. So you may choose what realm of experience you will, for there are those who will experience this thing that you call good, and others that will experience this thing that you call bad. And each will experience the same thing in their own way. In their own way, they will experience it as you will. And how would you choose to experience it? For one may experience suffering as delight, and others may experience delight as suffering. It is all a matter of how you are going to experience it for yourself while you are in that physical body. But love is all encompassing. It does not exclude anything. And yet, in the reality of your physical experience, it would be prudent to understand that you have your own unique experience of that spectrum of love that is unique to you. And you may even find people that will agree with yours, and you will find people that will disagree with yours. And all of you will have this experience in perpetuity of your consciousness. You think that little body that you're in is the only form of existence that you will ever have? You are mistaken. There's so much more than your physical body and your simple thoughts and your emotions that come with that body, most of which are very, very primitive in the true sense of the word. Question from Adam. As the human body of an individual, as the body of a human individual comprised of cells, tissues, organs, is it possible that the source of all creation can exist as one complex entity similar to an individual? It does. It absolutely does. Think about it. You're breathing air right now. That air you're breathing in your lungs is still connected to the air around you. It's not separate from it. You know, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not all encompassing. You know, you look at fish in the ocean, they're all encompassed by the ocean. None of them are separate from it. We're not separate, except by our definition of separation, that you're in a physical body, I'm in a physical body. They're not in physical bodies, but we're connected to them. You know, these beings that we can tune into energetically exist. We just don't perceive them through the normal sense mechanisms. I perceive them as a vibrational energy that comes in and stimulates certain thought forms and ideas in my physical brain that I can interpret and then represent. And everybody can do this, right? Everybody has the ability to tap into and tune into different frequencies of energy, just the same way as science has learned to pick up frequencies, radio waves on different bandwidths, and we can send out radio signals and television signals on all these different frequencies. So too does your soul, your consciousness, have the ability to tune into all these different frequencies, right? But yeah, it's all encompassing. It exists simultaneously as the part and the whole. That's the phrase you're giving me to give you. It exists simultaneously as the part and the whole, but they are not apart. And it's funny because you think of that in Gestalt therapy. They have a picture of a wine, what looks like a wine glass, and yet if you look at it from a different perspective, you see two faces looking at each other. Very fascinating, two faces, and then you can switch back and see the wine glass. So both exist at the exact same moment, and our perception is what allows us to differentiate one from the other. I don't know who this is, but they're saying to tell you that it is possible to grasp both the part and the whole simultaneously when you eliminate analysis and self-judgment and move into direct knowing. They're saying to tell you that, Adam, when you move in that place where there's direct knowing as opposed to analysis. They're saying that analysis individualizes, whereas experience allows you to know. And again, I'm not sure of the scope of what they mean by that last part. No, they're just saying that going into direct knowing is the way to experience both simultaneously. That's really cool. Great question, Adam. Question from Grace. How can we love those who have hurt others and still choose to hurt and cause suffering for those around them? Thanks. Learn to, I'll speak from experience, learn to love them from afar. While I'm in this physical body as an individual entity called William, I understand that I get to choose and create my experiences in this dimension. I'm fortunate enough that I'm not alone. I get to tap into other beings that guide me all the time and say, don't do this, try this, try this. I've got mentors and teachers in this dimension and in others, and we all do. I wouldn't get too caught up in that. Again, there's people that you're going to have to say that's their choosing. They're choosing to experience the spectrum of suffering. Like Aphrodite saying, love is all inclusive, good or bad. Love includes and does not disregard or exclude anything. That is completely inclusive. Completely inclusive. And if it's completely inclusive, then we have to recognize that that part of life wants to experience suffering. That part of life wants to start a war. That part of life wants to create a cure for cancer. That part of life wants to build rocket ships and become a multiplanetary species, and you get to decide what you're going to be as an expression, what you're going to gravitate towards, what you want to be a part of your life. And there's going to be some really hard choices sometimes about who you're going to stay with and who you're not going to stay with, and who you're going to include in your life and who you're not going to include in your life. And there's no judgment from love. Love will not judge you for your choices. Your experience will be your experience as a result of your choices, but love will not judge you for your choices. So yeah, you get to choose wisely. Choose the people to remain close to, and those that are suffering. I've seen miracles happen. I've been told, send out love. I've experienced this firsthand, where it looked like I was going to get beamed over the head with a chair by a crazy person, and they said, just send them love. And I sent this person love, and without any hesitation, they threw the chair down and ran away. It's the funniest thing. So you can also project love at somebody and affect them. Just you can project anger or fear at somebody and affect them. So if you really need to be close to somebody who's harming other people, and if you really want to try and get to a place of love, then go into that space, but hold it true for them. Like, really, don't let your love deviate, whatever your vibration of love is that you're aligned to, because it can affect people instantaneously, just as fear can. So have fun with that, but choose wisely, right? Choose wisely. Yeah, she's about experiencing the joy of life. She's truly about experiencing the absolute joy and bliss of life, which is not limited to the senses alone. That is just a small part of it. Question from Vertical. My creations are made with passion and love, expressing vibrations through various materials. They are being admired yet not bought. What is your advice? Yeah. If you're asking for my advice, she's saying if they are made with love, then you are obviously not trusting it very well. Do you not trust love to respond to you? And I would say really, really hold in your mind that these items are in the hands of people that are looking at you with delight. Like, really hold an image in your mind of people like loving these things. That your love is an attractive force pulling people into them, right? And then get them out to people. Get out to people. Share their work with them and put it online. Like, do some practical things with it. But there's also there are people that are doing a lot of work with the earth right now. There are people that are doing a lot of work with the earth, with crystals. Connect with people that are doing a lot of work with crystals, that are doing crystal matrices and working with sacred geometry. They're the ones that need what you're making right now. The ones that are working with, like, actually doing crystal installations around the planet, where they're actually helping the planetary grid. You want to connect to those people, because some of the things that you're making will actually work in that fashion. And you'll be a great service to Gaia in that respect. That's something that just came in right now. So take that and run with that one. Hi, Jenny. Good morning. Hi. Good morning. Hi, Sachet. A question from Sachet. I had a dream about centipedes showing up in my home. I'm usually afraid of them, but I was intrigued in the dream. Can you give me insight on this? I'm being told to give you these words. There is a gathering of many feet. There are many people that you're going to be gathering with. Be ready for the opportunity. Do not be afraid of it. There's a gathering. So there's some sort of gathering. I'm not being very clear, but there's a lot of people together, and you need to get connected to them. It's something that's going to be coming into your life very soon, where you're going to be invited. Do not let your fear stop you from going to this. There's an event. Something's where there's a lot of people gathered together that you're going to be invited to. Don't hesitate to go. Wow, cool. Yes. You got right now, Elena, you got Archangel Michael standing by you right now. He's using a sapphire light. It's like he's literally using a sapphire light to surround you in this sapphire light. He's saying that it's an attunement. It's an attunement. Go to the waters. He's saying if you got a lake or an ocean near you, go to the waters and put your feet in it today. The words he's using is anoint your feet in the waters. So if you got a lake or an ocean nearby, go and put your feet in it. Yeah, cool. Got time for one more question, guys. From Drusilla. I do understand, but I still have a problem or questions when it comes to hurting children. Yeah, I know this is a difficult one. What she's saying, love is all encompassing. You know, we look at what she was saying earlier about watching stars explode, you know, where they might take out an entire solar system or even more. We have no comprehension of that scope of transmutation of energy. She's not calling it destruction. It's literally a transmutation of energy. But all experiences in the spectrum of love are available in its experience of being. There is no restriction. And you may have your own preference while you're in your experience, and you may choose to create a realm thusly. Yeah, I know. I too have a soft spot because of my experience. I do honor and respect the integrity and the life of especially children, of anybody, really. But you're not bound by that. We're not bound by that. Pleasure is the only way we can exist. Pain exists. I've lived a very painful experience, so I understand it. Love does not restrict us from having what our experience is, good or evil. Love is all inclusive. It is all inclusive. And she says everybody has experienced many different expressions of good and evil. Everyone has experienced all things on this dimension. If you're here, you're still experiencing things of this dimension. So look around you, for all possibilities exist that you see. And love does not deny any of them, good or evil. Love denies nothing. And that is the beautiful thing about existence, is that you get to experience what you would choose, what you would will to experience. Yeah. I still have a tough time with that. She just laughs at me. You know, she doesn't. You can have a tough time if you want. I'm free to have a tough time with seeing things a certain way. But every one of us is experiencing what we're choosing to experience. And that's a tough nut to swallow sometimes. You know, you talk about this concept of freedom. I forget who spoke about it a few weeks ago. You know, freedom is a beautiful thing, but it also means that there's risks involved, that people have the freedom to say and do and be whatever they wish. And you might not like it, you know, and people aren't going to like your expressions of freedom. And we all have to learn to live with that, don't we? And I think that's pretty remarkable. I think that definition of love, that love is all inclusive, then maybe we can be a little more forgiving of people too, when we realize that they're part of that collage of experiencing time and space for forever. Wow. Thank you, guys. If you're new to the channel, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel and to hit the notification bell so you know when we come live. This Friday, I've got Mother Gaia coming in. She's saying, prepare for what may come. And then she's got in brackets, restore love. And I don't know what that's going to be like, but I'm excited about it. Because when you think of love as being all inclusive, then what then is restoring love? I'm very curious. So that'll be this Friday, July the 1st, on Shortcuts to Your Soul. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys then. If you want to know more about how to become a medium or how to connect to your guides and your angels, and because there are beings that can assist you with areas of your life that are there with you right now, that try to get through to you all the time. They try to, don't eat this, don't do that. They're talking to you all the time. You're not alone. None of you are alone. Just learning how to hear and learning how to respond and learning how to receive information. If you want to know more about how to do that, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out some of our courses and classes that we offer. And I'll look forward to seeing you again on Friday. Much love, everybody. Bye for now, and have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day.